And then they just lined up outside. I mean, all of them. They were just right there. And then this guy comes out front, and he's just like, I'm sorry. Y'all got to disperse right now. And then I walked straight up to him, and I looked him right in the eyes. I looked him right in his beady little eyes, and I was just like, don't you know who I am? I am Nathan Hamilton, YouTuber and amazing person extraordinaire. You do not talk to my fans like that. And then he looks at me and he says, sir, this is a Buc-ee's.
The hell is Buc-ee's?
I got the shirt on.
Yeah.
I literally
She's got a
Halloween
Buc-ee,
shirt
the Buc-ee's
on.
Halloween shirt on. So Buc-ee's is basically, Buc-ee's is basically, it's a gas station
It's like
supermarket
It's like
thing.
it's like a Love's and a Walmart had a baby.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, they got a brisket station in there. They make you sandwiches. They make you
They made me a
pulled
grilled
pork.
cheese.
Yeah, they do. They have like a bakery. They have a huge assortment of just like various choices of drinks and stuff like that.
And they got merch.
Yeah, merchandise. They got everything in there, dude. Clothing store. It's super, super cool. And then they also got like a huge row of just gas stations
There's
that
over
they can.
100 pumps.
Yeah, there's over 100 pumps at this place, and it's amazing. Basically, you pull up there, put gas in your car, and then you just walk in. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's typically considered good practice to not stay in for like an extended period of time. But
the lady told me that some people stay in there for hours.
yes.
Because I was very overwhelmed when I went in. Because it had been a long day. I was tired. I was starving.
Yes.
And there was so many food options.
But that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. But, yeah.
Now, I get you. First time I went in there, I was just like, holy shit. This place is hype as hell.
Mm-hmm. And the staff is so nice.
Yes.
Like, I told them that was my first time because I was like, okay, I ordered food at the kiosk. Is this where I pick it up? And then while I was waiting for them, they were bagging cookies or whatever. And I saw these little things in the case. And I was like, actually, I'm going to get some of those too. But where do I pick up my food that I ordered? And then I had so much stuff. I had so much stuff that I kept dropping it. And so I had to put, I think it was a tub of chicken salad or something. I put it in my pocket. And when I got up to the register, I was like, I had so much stuff that I had to put this in my pocket. But I'm praying for it.
Well, they don't mind as long as you pay for it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her. I was like, I have every intention to buy this.
But, yeah. Buc-ee's is an experience. I will say that. It's very, very cool.
I ended up spending like $50.
I went in there and I spent like $40 on gas, and then I spent like another $20 on stuff inside. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was fun.
Well, the shirt was like $18, so the rest of it was food.
Yeah,
$22 on food.
Yeah. So I outside of that though, you know, I'm really happy that Buc-ee's is here, and I hope that it moves closer because I don't want to drive all the way to Sevierville just to go to freaking Buc-ee's. As much as I loved it.
Soon. I mean, that would be cool to get one.
Well, I hope they open one up around here, do the casino.
I mean, the casino, and also just like we have major interstate that runs through here, so.
That's true. That is very, very true. But, alright. Don't you know who I am? This is people who have that aha moment of just like, someone tried to tell me off on the internet. I'm about to ruin their whole day. Like when Tom from from MySpace, the guy who created MySpace, basically was on there, and there was this question for him on Twitter talking about how to keep a social media network, and start a social media network and all this and all that. And Tom chimed in. He was just like, well, from my experiences that I found, it was a lot of work just to keep up with everyone else, because whenever you innovate, they're going to innovate. And this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, yeah, they're over there fighting.
Teddies.
The cats are fighting.
All of a sudden,
but
Nate was interrupted.
Yes.
Teddies.
What are you guys knocking over?
Dear Lord, man. They're having a knockdown drag out back there.
I'm gonna get you.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna get you. Better quit it.
Nick
Oh,
took off
quit
the
that
van.
whipping.
I'm just kidding.
I said quit that whipping. Y'all get out here right now.
Oh yeah, where was I with my story?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. My
Alright, moving on.
I'm sorry.
Would a four-time Olympian and triple world champion athlete know about elite athletics? Oh, nothing at all. Well, Spikes and Spokes and Allison Sidor, please tell me how many Olympic trials you've competed in. If the answer is less than one, then shut up. Well, it's completely irrelevant to this conversation, but since you ask, I have competed in 4 Olympic Games. I have 1 Olympic medal, 3 world titles, and a 20-year career as an elite/pro athlete. I'll keep speaking up on this issue that affects all the female athletes coming up after me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm willing to bet my life savings this dude either didn't respond or moved the goalposts as fast and as far as he could.
Yeah, I remember now what I was talking about.
Okay.
Before I was rudely interrupted. Either way, Tom's talking on Twitter about how to keep a social media network alive. Then someone chimed in and said, yeah, I'm not going to take advice from a guy who couldn't keep his social media network alive. It was like, because, Tom sold MySpace, and MySpace is basically, like, non-existent anymore. Mm-hmm. And Tom literally clapped back at the guy saying, it's like, yeah, says the guy who sold MySpace for $865 million. Meanwhile, you slave away all day, hoping to get an extra day off over the weekend. Shut up. And the guy basically just got roasted by the rest of the comment section. They were just like, you want some ointment for that? It's like, dear God, someone call the burn specialist. This man just got scorched.
I'm sorry, I
OP
lost
claimed-
focus earlier.
Cat, you were focused on the cats fighting.
Yeah.
The handler who was bitten by his cobra died within 30 minutes and was refuted in the comments. The link is a peer-reviewed paper on the snake deaths, or on snake deaths, in India. Oh boy. Bullbot reposter. Indian cobras almost never kill with their poison. Even if they do, it's not going to be in 30 minutes. On top of that, this is a snake handler. He has a high immunity because he was bitten a lot before, and he should have antidotes ready.
Tell me you don't know
the hell?
jack fucking shit about snakes and venom without telling me you don't know jack and shit about snakes and venom.
What the heck? Are you an expert on cobras now? It's the most dangerous snake in the world. Unfortunately for you, yes. It's not every day you'd find someone who can pull out their peer-reviewed research article to refute your bogus claim. Must be a bad day for...
I have major concerns about someone who has a peer-reviewed research article on fucking venomous snakes, calling it poisons and antidotes. You sound like a fucking dumbass. I don't give a shit what fucking evidence you have to pull out. Act like you know what you're talking about when you make a post.
Agreed.
OP.
God damn,
I hope
man.
it
You got
is.
Nick heated.
Well, Nick's
like-
That
big
just
on
pisses
snakes.
me off. It's like, if you fucking know what you're talking about, why don't you fucking act like it?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, I know, like, better than that. Like, just
How
from
about-
fucking all of the hobbyism I've put into, like, herpetology and learning about animals and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
How about just don't fuck with snakes? Don't mess with them. Don't touch them. Keep them at a distance.
Kate had a bad experience earlier.
It was not today, but it was the other day.
Yeah, she was
It
like...
was a baby though, but I was like,
It
no.
was a baby mountain black
Ran away.
snake. Yeah, it was like one of those little baby, like black and silver. You know,
I was
they typically
blowing
hunt mice,
leaves
stuff
at his
like
mama's
that.
house.
You got
Yeah.
to see a snake?
Yeah.
It was a baby,
Yeah.
but I was still like, nope.
Yeah, she had the leaf blower out there, and she was like clearing out
And
Mom's
they're not
driveway.
venomous or anything, but I just don't like snakes, period.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It was a baby, and it was like I said, it's a mountain
Trying to
black
do, like-
snake. Those are harmless.
Sad
I'm okay
nobody
with,
sent
like-
me a picture of it.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, I wasn't
didn't
there
have
for
my
it.
phone, first
She
of all.
was.
The second of all, I wouldn't get near the damn thing. I ran away.
There's a zoom function on the phone.
I didn't have my phone. I was outside
Yeah.
on the road at his mama's house.
Yeah.
So the phone is like,
She loves using that leaf
30
blower
to
because it
40
makes her
feet
feel
away.
like Iron Man.
no, it makes me feel like a Ghostbuster.
Okay, fair enough.
It looks like you literally look like a Ghostbuster. 'Cause it's
Except
like
for
bright
you,
green.
except for you, it's ba-da-da-da-da, Leaf Buster.
I'm gonna sing that next time.
Those
It's gonna
crunchy
be-
things laying on your street.
Who you gonna call? Leaf Busters.
Oh man, that just made my day for some reason. It's the
Hey.
little things, guys.
Hashtag the little things.
Okay.
Is an
let's get
openly
back.
gay media analyst and writer.
Ah.
Random thought. The obsession with Harry Styles' sexuality fascinates me. Because it's where a new generation's because it's where a new generation's golden rule, sexuality is fluid, you can choose from dozens of identities, etc., crashes into an older rule. Tell us who you are so we can decide what we think of you. Unless you're queer, you should be listening to queer fans on this topic, not commenting on it. There are things that impact us that others don't understand or
Oh, look at
and the
this. Like
fact-
the uptight Karen is chiming in and not doing her research on who the fuck she's talking to. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like, I'm sorry, but unless you're this, you should shut the fuck up. And he's just like, honey, I've been talking about this shit for more than 30 years, and also, he's gay. It's like he's had more experience on it than most people. Jesus Christ.
She just found
care
her
about.
calling.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So here we have a situation called fuck around,
Find out.
and she's about to find out.
not to worry. Why does anybody care about Harry Styles' sexuality? I don't give a
Who gives a flying
Who
shit?
cares?
Like,
I guess because he's wearing all kinds of frilly looking shit on his tours and stuff.
I
Who
guess
cares?
I don't care. The truth is, I don't like his music.
The
I have
only
hated him
thing-
since he was in One Direction.
This is also the first time I've heard that apparently the new generation's golden rule is that sexuality is fluid.
Well,
Because, like, for years
No,
and
it's
years, the
part of
whole
it.
thing is like you can't help how you're born. You just are away, and you can't change that.
well, and the thing
They
is,
don't know what the fuck they're
well,
talking
no,
about.
well, it's because
I mean-
it's new rules all the time. No one knows what to make any sense of it. Because next thing you know, Generation Alpha is going to basically just be like, oh, we're not actually here. We're all in a simulation, and none of this actually matters. Like,
We did see something that was very odd the other day. Though.
okay, look, I don't know, like,
I don't know where that plane went.
me neither.
But
Look,
I could have swore it was like stuck.
so we were
in the
looking in the
sky.
sky, and Kate saw it first, and then I saw it.
It looked like it was just
It was a
sitting
plane
there.
that I don't know if it was because of how our car was moving, but it was standing still in the sky as we were moving. But
And then it just vanished.
all of a sudden, we crest over this hill. We lose sight of it for 2 seconds, and it's in the middle of the sky. Keep in mind, it's like here. It's not like on the crest of the horizon or anything like that. It is in the middle of the sky, and we're driving,
And it was a
we crest
cloudless
over this
day.
hill where we lose sight of it for 2 seconds. Crest over the hill, it's gone. We didn't hear an
disappeared.
engine, didn't hear noises or anything. I rolled my window down to look out the window and was like,
You even got out
Huh.
of the truck.
yeah.
You got out of the truck at the stop sign.
Yeah, and I was like, where? I didn't hear any jet noises. That's the
No.
other thing too. You would hear jet stream noises.
And the weird thing is, most of the time, it leaves like a trail in the sky. Like,
Yeah,
you
there
know,
wasn't
like
one.
the exhaust or whatever. or whatever. I don't know.
Well, that's if it's in the upper atmosphere. This one looked like it was at least 10,000 feet or lower. See, if it's in the upper atmosphere, like 3,000 feet, it will do that. I mean, that's
Look like a plane.
It looked like a big-ass plane.
Yeah.
And there ain't no way
It just...
that it just
gone.
disappeared, but it did. Just so.
Maybe the new technology that America has that nobody knows about so far is actually the warp travel.
I don't know.
It's like it was just like preparing for warp
I
into
can't
space,
explain it.
just hovering in.
I can't either. Yeah, maybe it was one of those like those newfangled aircrafts that just warp speed gone.
I don't care. What does it matter? Oh, he wants to wear a dress.
To be honest,
cool, dude.
as far as this goes, I think people should just worry about themselves.
Yeah.
Shouldn't care about what other people are doing because they don't give two fucks about you.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Like
Harry Styles, like, anyone out there who stands for anybody who just like, just like I stand for. It's just like all these K-pop stands out there
like
that are
fans
all
or
for
whatever,
that are
but-
like all for BTS, and I'm like, none of them are ever going to know who you actually are, right? None of them actually give a shit about you. So why the fuck are you willing to die on a hill for them outside of your own pathetic obsession? I don't get
it
it.
doesn't make any sense.
I think it's the whole thing. It's like all of the fans who are LGBTQ plus just want it to be a thing so that they can celebrate and be like, yay, it's part of our community.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with like.
I get that.
But Harry hasn't come out and said it or anything, and he's
you can't just force that on somebody just
No.
because you want them to be that way.
Well, no, it's just like George Takei, and his disagreements with how a lot of the gay community is nowadays. For instance, when the new Star Trek movie came out, Star Trek Beyond, and it showed that his character, the character he played, Hikaru Sulu, in the movie was gay, but in the original lore, he wasn't gay. And then George Takei was just like, can we? And keep in mind, George Takei is gay. George Takei is a gay man, out and proud, has been for decades. He literally was just like, can we not make everything gay? I mean, my character never was gay or anything like that, so why would you make my character gay in this updated version when in the original it clearly was not? And then all of a sudden everyone was just like, shut the fuck up, George Takei. You're like, who the fuck even are you anymore, man? It's like, I'm like, Are you all right in the head? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? Jesus Christ.
It's like, you should be happy, George Takei. We made the character to be more like you. And he's like, the point of being an actor is so I can act like something I'm not.
And not only that, but George never goes out of his way to be in the spotlight like that. He speaks on things, and he's very much straightforward about it, but he doesn't go out of his way to be in the spotlight all the time. But anyway, sorry.
I mean, he's also just a wholesome dude.
He is. He's more wholesome than most people on the internet by far.
Doesn't affect me. I don't give a shit. Just to be clear, Judd tweets lefty slanted popular information and opinion for a living. He's about as far from a lawyer as you could possibly get. Lol. So please don't take his take on anything. What, without a grain of salt? I don't know. Just to be clear, I am a lawyer. I'm a graduate of Georgetown Law and a member of the Maryland Bar. Trying to dunk on an...
I freaking sung that in D's voice because it's always Sonny. To go back. It's like, just to be clear, I am a lawyer. I'm a graduate of Georgetown Law and a member of the Maryland Bar, just to be clear.
Just to be clear.
Maryland Bar.
Of course, the original song is much more effed up. It's like, just to be clear, I did not write that song and I've never slept with a child, just to be clear.
But trying to dunk on an invincible artist for using their own invincible? What does that? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, from the show. Okay.
Yeah.
The books. I don't know. I
Comics,
did not
yeah.
know what you were talking
The comics. Is it Robert Kirkman? Please tell me it's Robert Kirkman.
about. I thought you meant there was an artist out there that could not be killed. It hurts, but I had to do it. AI art, it's not art. Actual artists, look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Very ironic you made this post without using your own art. God, that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
Wow. Wow.
Paul Graham actually read Paul Graham essays written by Paul Graham? We'll never know. What are the best Paul Graham essays to read? Recommendation, please. Tri-Cities and Ambition. How to do great work and how to write usefully. Have you actually read those? Yeah, I've read all three, actually. No one ever reads the goddamn name. Well, I mean, nowadays on Twitter, it's not really... the checkmark got ruined, so you can't really trust much. You most certainly did not take that. That's a rather famous photograph by the Canadian photographer Luke Anthony Graham. You didn't look at my profile yet, did you? Nope, and it's too funny. I recognized the photo as yours instantly. Never thought it would actually be you, my dude. I like your work and hate when people steal others' work, as it's just crass to take credit for what others do. It's worse to steal it and sell it, but to do it for points is bad enough. Okay, I'm actually glad I was wrong. All good, my man. I hate when people steal others' work too, so you're just doing your part. He kills...
At least somebody was actually, like, humble enough to respond and be like, oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah. Like a little bit of civility. Hey, it's the black cat. How you doing, Bilbo? How you doing there, Billy Bones? He's so soft. Oh, look at him. He's camouflaged on the screen.
What's he doing? Come here. Okay, don't come here.
All of them effortlessly without using his Pokemon. He's incredibly durable and powerful, like Galaxy level. Ash isn't remotely close to Galaxy level durability. Read his respect thread. You mean the one I made? The one in the OP? I don't think I put any Galaxy level feats in there.
This is right there.
This video was stolen from Marie Pax on TikTok.
Marie Pax, yeah.
Walking to the...
Da 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 da. Congratulations, you played yourself.
The police station to turn myself in right now. I stole my own video. Contrary to popular belief, I give up on trying to find locations a lot, but this one specifically I've not been able to give up on. I'm opening it to the public. A follower sent this to me in December. She had almost lost her mom 5 years ago and wants to know where they took this. Someone tag that kid who can look at literally any photo with almost no context and find the exact location. You are the one I didn't realize.
So that's how he does it, is make posts and asks for extra help about it.
Yes.
It happened. A reviewer suggested that I familiarize myself with the work of, what is that? To understand the... Oh, I see
Yeah,
your name. All right. Asking Peter Crouch if he has been to a Premier League game. Who's that? I know it's only a game and some things are much bigger, but imagine all of our games went ahead this weekend. Black armbands, silences observed, national anthem, royal band playing, etc. to the millions around the world watching. Isn't that a better send-off? Silences wouldn't be observed, though, would they? Have you ever been to a Premier League game?
Yeah, quite a few, actually. You could say he has some in the field experience with that.
Fill me in. What sport are we talking about? Who's
Football.
Peter?
Or soccer, football, yeah.
Let me guess.
Football.
This guy's been to a lot. I don't know. Have you never been to Switzerland or seen the rail system there? Well, at least you used Mr. And yes, I have 15 years working on the rail systems, and I can tell you, between the rails is the dirtiest, nastiest, most unsafe place to put anything needing light and not to be impacted by everything that falls from rail cars and locomotives. You have a most pleasant day.
Yeah, my dad works on the railroad, and the amount of like safety regulations and everything they have to do in order to make sure that nothing can potentially cause a derail, especially on mountainsides and especially in wintertime whenever the rails constrict. My dad's shown me like what the difference is, like at the end of the rail, like how far it can stretch out in the summer and how far it can constrict in the winter. It's terrifying. Just how how much rails have to give in some ways, even though they're friggin' nailed in with railroad spikes, or not railroad spikes anymore. Now it's basically like a thermite melt system that basically just like core melts a huge heaping ton of steel into the pit and just like, and then they seal it off. But damn.
Can you tap it back a couple seconds so I can reread his post?
Yeah. Not to be impacted by everything that falls from rail cars and locomotives. Yeah, so basically...
someone was suggesting I'm putting something between rails, and they're like, no.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's the truth, because at any given time, something can come off of one of the cars, and it potentially can cause a derailing. You don't want that. Because my dad's had to clean up derailings. They are not fun.
Yeah.
To be impacted by everything that falls from rail cars and locomotive.
You all right? Anything all right? Oh.
I just knocked this over and it bumped her.
You have a most pleasant day. You son of a bitch. In a conversation about dinosaurs, a paleontologist comes in to talk about Utahraptor? Utahraptor? No, Utahraptor. And the OP...
No, Utahraptor.
Cites his own artwork back at him without realizing. Surprisingly wholesome ending, though. All right, that's a little small. Let me zoom in here. After a discussion with some friends, I wanted to ask your opinion. Who would win? A polar bear or, well, that big fluffy dinosaur bastard? Well, I'd love to vote for... I don't know how to pronounce the word. Quit saying it. I'm begging you. This one looks a bit large, like 7+ meters when it was probably in the 5 to 6 meter range. It's fairly accurate for its size. The tail's a tiny bit longer, but that's likely due to the feathers on it.
Its name's literally on the drawing. Oh, okay.
How can you not see that? Come on.
Fairly accurate for its size. The tail's a tiny bit longer, but that's likely due to the feathers on it. Check that name out right there on the archer.
Exactly.
Buddy. I'm sorry, Scott, for going against you. You obviously know more about them than I do. I didn't mean to use your own skeletal against you for comedic purposes. I legit just didn't read your name. That's my bad. It's fine, and it gave me a good chuckle this morning. I think the raptor life reconstruction in the original image is lovely, but a bit too large overall. Maybe we'll find bigger specimens someday, but that probably shouldn't be the basis for this sort of comparison. I never argue against a paleontologist. I'm far from qualified to do that. Again, I'm very sorry. It's all good. A man tries to tell...
Okay.
Oh, I mean, he was arguing against a literal Allosaurus, man. I think the Allosaurus would know a few things too.
It's like
the paleontologist only knows about the bones, man. The Allosaurus has lived that shit.
it's just like amateur. It's like amateur. I am the almighty Allosaurus.
It's like, who do you think I am? And it's like, you're a paleontologist. Who do you think I am? Oh, you're an actual dinosaur. I see.
Oh my gosh! Next thing you know, I just recall River Tam off of friggin' Doctor Who. It's just like, wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like, I know all about you. It's like, oh yeah, I dug you up. It's like the Allosaurus is just like, oh, I know everything about you. I dug you up. It's like, oh my god.
Not. What? What's so not? That he's not...
Did you just say River Tam?
Not River Tam, River Song. Sorry.
Yeah.
River Tam is from friggin' Firefly.
Like,
sorry, I had a confusing moment
it confused my brain because you said River Tam and then you said from
River
Doctor
Song.
Who, and I was like,
I meant River Song.
my brain was like doing the old internet connection noises, like, like
No, I get you.
Connection
It did that for me too. I had that dirt moment. Like as soon as you said River Tam, I was like, did I say River Tam? Fuck, I meant to say River Song.
It's like, was there a Firefly Doctor Who crossover I was unaware of?
That would be fire. I'm not lying. That would be fire. Like all of a sudden they come across the police box in space and they're like, what the hell is this thing? It's like, I don't know. But there's a strange, like, really well dressed man living inside of it. He won't come out though. And all of a sudden it's like, all right, Jane, can you blow this door open? Absolutely.
So I say the door blown open.
Exactly.
DJing. I don't know what that means. Okay. The trees are talking. Deadass stumbled on these kids having a bunker rave in a forest and jumped on the decks. I love the way the DJ makes out like he's in the mix. It's called a breakdown, dude. The tune is a banger, though. Always gets the crowd pumping. Well, actually, running a tight loop with space effects and reverb while increasing the pitch on the wide mode, which creates it. That's a lot of goddamn words that no one gets.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's DJ talk, dude. No, this guy's the DJ. I'm mixing out of that, the volume dynamic, and the testo tune to give the amps a break, which we're clipping.
A ramping back up for the impact moment.
Yes, basically.
We don't have to read all that.
Well, basically what he's saying
it's
is
technical for DJs.
Basically, he's saying he's letting the lows do a lot of the work, and then he turns everything back up and amps it back up for whenever the breakdown happens or whenever the beat drops. You know, it's just like, have you seen those videos of those? It's like DJs will literally put anything before the beat drop, and it's just like it's like, all right, everybody, I need you to jump up and down, and I need you to stay calm. I'm just joking. Let's fucking go!
At least I don't. That and volume dynamic on the Tiesto. No, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, we get it. You're
a DJ.
I know what you're saying.
We get it.
Oh, God, you're just saying words to me. Always credit the artist. Well, yeah. My deepest apologies to this artist. Thank you for the banger art. I've been watching a few of your streams, and I gotta say, it was never my intention to hurt you. Your art is pog. I'll credit them properly in the future. Again, I was in the wrong here. I guess.
It's basically internet verbiage for, like, amazing or great. But back in the day, it was like, it stood for play of the game.
Is that an insult?
No, it's a good thing. But every time I hear someone say pog, outside of what its original meaning was, I'm just like...
It's not as bad as putting more letters with it.
Oh, I know.
It's still stupid, though.
Such as...
No, don't say it!
Adding the hard R at the end, or calling someone their little pog champ. I know. That was the one that irks me too.
I don't get it.
It's fucking gross.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
It's so fucking cringy.
Okay.
You don't have to look it up. It's okay. Nate.
I literally disconnect people from my voice chat for saying that fucking word.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The PogChamp emote.
So, like, if you're gonna inconvenience my ears, I'm gonna inconvenience you, is what I tell them.
Regarding
Fair.
Oppenheimer, from someone who has a degree in film, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Okay. Some people can't handle dialogue or 3-hour movies, and that's fine. It's not for everyone. But this was an absolute masterclass in writing, score, and cinematography as a whole. It's a perfectly good movie, but if you think it's one of the greatest films ever made, that degree didn't do you much good. Did me plenty good. Got me an Emmy. Oh, I don't recognize the... Well, it is Instagram, right? Also, I definitely disagree that it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Is it amazing? Absolutely. But that's art for you, baby. It's not objectively one thing or another. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on it.
Yeah.
And for the record, he's right about everything else in my opinion. Like, holy I just don't think it's one of the greatest ever made. Mainly because it's just not made for me, you know? And that's totally fucking fine. Because even though I disagree with that point, he's probably still right on it anyway. Agent Orange is nothing compared to the nerve gas the U.S. sprayed during Vietnam. Thousands and thousands of gallons of nerve agent. The U.S. did not use nerve agents in Vietnam. Lol. K. I mean, I wrote a whole history of nerve agents. Happy to point you to my book and other books on the subject. Do more research. You know, Dan.
So in this case, it was a guy. It was a do you know who I am? And the guy's just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna display my ignorance, anyways.
This is literally the guy who headbutts brick walls and says, I'm making a dent. See, I'm doing something.
And Dan, you're great, but pointing this dip toward a book?
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
he can't read, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Do more research.
Obs.
Just gonna leave this here. Note the similarity of the author's name to mine. Do more research. The history of nerve agents from Nazi Germany to Putin's Russia. Sounds so fun. Mark Russinovich is CTO of
Russinovich.
Microsoft Azure
Oh, wait.
software.
Hang on. Go back real quick. Back a little more.
The guy's
Okay,
name
so
is
it
the
was still-
same.
So he just
He's
replied
posting
again, just
a
leaving
picture
his book.
of his book
Just gonna leave this here. Not the similarity.
to the guy.
The author's name to
Yeah.
mine.
And the guy says, doing more research.
Well, no, that's
Again.
his reply to it.
Yeah.
That's his reply. Do more research. I think I've done plenty. I mean, this is basically this
I
guy.
literally told him he wrote the book.
Well-
I don't see why he had to show the book cover after that. You know.
Well, it's
literally
because-
the guy's not going to care.
Well, no, it's at this point. No, at this point, this guy's probably given up on the conversation. This is Dan literally just laying his nuts on his forehead at this point.
I guess so.
And I think, honestly, I give it to him. I give it to him. I mean, if you can get one over, I mean, it's Twitter, so you're not really doing anything. But if you can basically just like lay your nuts on someone's forehead who deserves it, by all means.
Yeah, I guess.
More research. The history of nerve agents from Nazi Germany to Putin's Russia. Sounds so fun. Mark Russinovich is CTO of Microsoft Azure. Software Development Engineer 2 is a position that matches about 3 years of industry experience. All right, let's see here. This is from the Amazon recruitment team. I found your profile while searching for software engineers who might be interested in development. Let's see. Would you be considering the opportunity with Amazon? Looks like I need to fix up my profile. Recruiters are, I think they just smoke crack all day long. I genuinely
In some cases, I do believe that, but at the same time, it's just like putting your stuff out there online. It wouldn't surprise me if someone misreads something or doesn't get the full picture on something. It's like, yeah, this guy was CTO, Chief Technical Officer for Microsoft Azure, and it's just like, I was literally one of the heads of technological development for Microsoft. So you're offering me software development engineer 2, which is paltry by comparison.
Maybe they're just shooting their shot. Like, hey.
And I guarantee he's like, no, thank
He's
you.
like, no, I'm good.
think recruiters are insane. You'd have to be at least a little bit to do that job, right? Advice on getting somewhere substantial. For the person who wrote the book on Rust programming, doesn't matter. I won't use software that's made by a company that intentionally mistreats its employees, and I will actively advocate against companies I work for using it, whatever. OMG, you'll never get anywhere substantial with that attitude. Long work hours can be a real joy if you love what you do. Yeah, for usually like the first week, you freaking dork. Then after that, you start hating what you do, and then you don't want to do it anymore at all. If you don't like it, don't apply. Well, I graduated college 2 years ago and made six figures. I quite literally wrote the book on the Rust programming language. I'm somewhere substantial. Okay, all right. It seems a little, never mind. When arguing about the boats crossing the English Channel, perhaps you guys should try reading the article. The bigger problem may be for the blah, blah, blah. I can't even read what they said, thank you. I wrote the article. As I said, the Dublin regulation applied to channel crossings, but the criteria were difficult to apply, not impossible. The House of Commons Library report says that 20% of Dublin transfers in 2019 were to France. Okay. Asking the producer if he's seen the film. Trust me, this is the most original movie you will see this year. Sean Patrick Flannery should win the Academy Award, and I'm not kidding. So you've seen this movie? Yes, I have, about 100 times. I made it. Okay, I'm glad that people are verifying when they say something like, oh, this movie's the worst movie ever made, or oh, you should get an Oscar for this, it's incredible. I'm glad there's at least one person going, you have watched it, right? And the only reason that we do that is because of that freaking dork that said that Parasite should not have won an Oscar because I don't really know what the reason was because it wasn't valid, as at the end of his little review, he just had to let it be said, sorry, that he didn't watch the movie at all. So
Yeah, it's like Quantum TV basically hating Elden Ring even though he's never played it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that something? It's just like, yeah, this is the worst game of the year. I don't know why people like it. And also, if you like it...
If you'd like monetization on this video anyway.
That's true. That's true. But basically, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I didn't play it. It's like, thank you for admitting your own stupidity.
So unfortunately, we do have to ask, but just Google, man. Did they die? That girl was completely still. Any idea what the word electrocuted means? Are you even remotely educated? I'm actually an electrician. I know more about this than you. No need to be an asshole. You can go catatonic from a massive shock, or your heart could give out. It's a genuine question whether she survived or not. I think, maybe a week ago, I want to say when recording, I asked about electrocuted versus electrified, because I always assumed electrocuted meant you were killed, you were executed, but I guess there's
No, not necessarily. Electrocuted means that your body absorbed electrical shock. Electrified means that it is a system that is running and is currently electrified.
Something is currently conducting electricity.
Exactly. Like, for instance, if my body was being used as a conduit to connect to electrical wires to keep a survival shelter alive, I would be
You would be currently electrified.
Yes, exactly.
Once the circuit was broken, you would have been electrocuted.
Exactly.
a lot more nuance to that word than I previously knew. Sim Racer tells a real-life GT driver that he's driving wrong.
Oh, God.
GT driver? You know what? Don't care. Sorry to say that, but IMO ACC, dude, you've typed a fucking book as a comment?
Fuck!
Can we just write some of these things out? Sorry, but IMO ACC is holding back your potential a lot.
In my
I was
opinion,
watching hours of
ACC,
GT3
yeah.
onboards with pro drivers just alone this year, and they really drive iRacing lines now to... Genuinely could not give less of a crap about everything that you're saying. Makes no sense to me. It means nothing to me. What's the response? ACC is the best GT simulator out there, IMO. The thing holding back my potential is probably the fact I haven't been in a car for 2 years. Like in general, Twitter user urges...
It was probably during the pandemic when he wasn't legally allowed to drive or something like that. I don't know.
The actor to see the original movie, Tamil, from which the new movie, Hindi, is remade from. Sadly, he forgot that the actor he was talking to was the star of the original movie. But did he watch it, though? I mean, think about it. Awesome trailer, guys. Dynamic and huge. Can't wait to see this in theaters. All the very, very best. All right, let's see. Sir, please see the original one. It was so much fun. Sir, he lived the original one. I'm sure that he agrees. In Stack Overflow comment, both were really cool about it. All right, what are they talking about? So I don't know what Stack Overflow means. So that did fix the issue, but could you explain why this worked and this didn't? All the documentation from the developer would imply otherwise. What?
It's the slash. It's literally like with old MS-DOS, like if you have a slash in the wrong place, completely negates everything. Like nothing works.
What documentation are you referring to? I'm the developer, by the way. That's by the spec. The reference within the current schema is... Wow. Great library. Thank you for contributing it for the rest of us. As for your question, I could have sworn that I saw it in examples on... I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, we get it. We understand this one, but there are so many of these, at least today, where I'm reading another damn language. I'm sorry, I'm out of the loop on so many things because I'm an idiot and not everyone
not
can
all
know
of us went to school for programming, dude.
No. Also,
I tried to go to school for programming, and I was like, yeah, I'm too dumb for this.
Also,
shit.
Robin, you have your expertise in your own right. You were an IT guy for the longest time, so if you worked in IT, then I can't remember if it was Robin or I think it may have been someone else for MK who used to work IT. I can't remember.
About everything. So these ones are cool.
You all right, Kate?
Just trying to stay awake.
Need some caffeine.
Did you not nap when you got home?
Mm-mm.
Glad they're here.
Have you been taking your medicine to help you sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get it. Congressman complained that AOC won to AOC. At one point, when Crowley was on stage, Cortez recalled that an older male member of Congress sat down next to her, gestured up, and apparently not aware of who he was talking to, said, "It's a real shame that girl won. I turned and said, you know that's me, right?" she recalled. And obviously, his face turns pale. They do feel shame. They just don't give a crap. If you would have taken some STEM classes, you would understand that correlation does not equal causation. I don't think you need STEM classes for that. I feel like that's something you learn in like the 5th grade, you dork. I'm a Caltech educated software engineer. I'm possible that oh, I see, you messed up.
It's possible
That I might understand why it is that a lack of humanities literacy is causally sorry, I'm having a really rough day. Is causally correlated to a loss of social structure and a vulnerability to fascism. Big words. Reddit user asks OP if he stole the idea of the mask from a band album cover, not realizing he was asking the creator of the art. All right, who are we dealing with? Did you steal that mask from whatever album? No, I made it. Don't you know who I am, you fool? Have you ever used this thing that
Wish
you
they had
made?
showed the mask.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
No, come on,
What
MK.
mask, man? Where's the
Freelance
mask?
software developer who occasionally works alongside the in-house teams of larger organizations when the project calls for it. A few years ago, I wrote and released an open source package for a very specific use case in a very niche market space. During a recent Zoom call with an external team, the lead developer was going over the project specification and pointed out a dependency they were using. He said something along the lines of, "We're using this, and I'm not sure who wrote it, but what it does is, whatever, have you used it? It was my package. Yeah, I think I might actually know the guy. If socialists understood economics, they wouldn't be socialists. Could you define socialism? Could you even define economics? Here, I wrote the script for this video. Also, I taught economics for a living. Yeah, but that's not valid and you're stupid and actually you're wrong." These are the people potentially calling the biggest moment in baseball in a long time. Raise your hand if you don't know who any of them are. Paul, we've literally hung out. That's the sort of tweet you make at the expense of your buddies. Like, look at these nerds. Who the hell even are they? Guy tells the inventor of the unified modeling language he doesn't know anything about UML. If you knew anything at all about UML, you'd know it's already capable of this. Dude, I invented the UML. Tweet author gets told to check magazine that cites the very own tweet thread they're writing on. I don't know why that title felt strange to read. Trick I want to see. A document in a conventional format, such as PDF, which mentions its own MD5 or SHA1 hash in the text and is right. What? I think you should read my favorite magazines. You realize that's me they're citing, right? Of course not. My bad. But nice to meet you. Is it by chance inspired by Drive By Night? I am the author of that webtoon. Thank you for the "don't you know who I am" response. Always appreciate that. The problem is acting like you're the original owner of the picture. If you'd stated in your title that it was someone else, it would have been fine. My bad. OP's the owner. Yeah, well, I don't even need to see his response now. Fella who has his car tinted thinks he can tell me, a professional installer, about quality. Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, God.
Window tint. Personally, I like 3M window tint, but they're expensive and lower quality than Lumar or Suntech. You would know about that lower quality. You can't afford the expensive tint. Okay. Well, I'm a professional installer, so I'm quite aware of what quality it is. As another professional installer, I'll agree with Stromboy. 3M, big doo-doo. Adhesive failure and discoloration way sooner than a lot of other brands. Happy Cake Day. Yeah, 3M's a great name. That's it. Oh yeah, well, all the reviews I've read about 3M window tint are all positive reviews, and most people had great things to say about them. You sure you're a professional?
You can hear this dude huffing the copium of the fact that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Just like
It's like, dude, you're trusting a bunch of reviews people probably left when they first got it. And they're like, "I like my new window tint. It's so cool."
Yeah.
And they didn't come back to update their review when it started fucking peeling off in a year and a half. You know?
Yeah, and you just hear the dude huffing the copium like a vacuum cleaner. Just,
Maybe a so-called professional who doesn't know what they're talking about. Like I said, you can't afford the expensive tint, so how would you know about 3M? They literally just told you how they would know. They don't have to be able to afford that tint as a professional installer to know. Probably because they have to install it for a bunch of dipshits like you a lot. Good God, you little moron. Asking a journalist, where were you in 2016 when the Supreme Court was on the line? Because with all due respect to Senator Feinstein, I'm hoping that's correctly pronounced, millions of Americans' rights and lives hang on who gets appointed to the federal courts. Her death can make the difference between life and death, between rights and loss of rights, for millions of others. That's not hyperbole. Where the hell were you in 2016? We told you mofos that the court was on the line, so don't come now and pretend you care. Have several seats? Oh, sweetheart. One Supreme Court appointee can make a difference. The next president may have the chance to fundamentally remake the court for decades beyond his or her time in office. Twitter user explains what being the chess world champion is like to Garry Kasparov.
Oh, God. That'd be like me telling Mr. Beast what it's like to be a YouTuber. It's like, hey, Mr. Beast, here's what you need to know about being a YouTuber. Says me, you know, Mr.
Like, I think I can offer some advice to you, Mr. Beast. So we should know we have a channel with about 285,000 subscribers.
Exactly, Mr.
We know a little bit of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, exactly, Mr.
He's just going to be like...
Jimmy Donaldson.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's just like...
Cool, guys.
He's just going to be like...
Never talk to me again.
I literally have, like, one channel that has almost 200 million subscribers. And it's like... I just died of a heart attack right there.
That's a big yikey moment, that's for sure. Carlsen's withdrawal was a blow to chess fans, his colleagues at the tournament, the organizers, and, as the rumors and negative publicity swirl in a vacuum, to the game. The world title has its responsibilities, and a public statement is the least of them here. Those players that become world champions experience some shattering pressure and mental strain. It takes a toll. Sometimes they want to move on and do other things. Remember Bobby Fischer, or the dude who defeated USSR? Methinks they have the right to live and be happy. Sure, but Google who the hell you're speaking to. Seriously, just do it.
Yes.
It's so easy. No. I'm sorry, no, not the Tony Hawk ones. No, I won't do it. We're not doing this. The Tony Hawk ones are cheating. I'm pretty sure.
No, they're not. Come on, Robin. Just let it go.
The first time Tony Hawk tweeted about someone not recognizing him, that was the invention of this subreddit. So no, we're not citing the ancient Tony Hawk texts, okay? The TPM has...
Come on. Okay, fuck it. I'll read it.
Reddit, so no.
Waiting in line at passport control. Europe travel is chaos right now, FYI. Guy next to the line is like, hey, I live right by you in Maryland. I live in San Diego. Oh, I thought you were that motocross guy, Travis Pastrana. I'm a skateboarder. My name is Tony. I was close.
We're not citing...
I was close.
Kind of.
Maybe kind of, not really.
You were closer than some people might have been in the past. But
actually.
Not really any, still not really within reaching distance.
I heard someone one time refer to Travis Pastrana as a, you're that pastrami sandwich guy, right?
Travis Pastrami.
Yeah, exactly.
The ancient Tony Hawk texts, okay? The TPM has nothing to do with Secure Boot. What? The Trusted Platform module has nothing to do with Secure Boot? You can reset it to get full access to the setup mode, to use SBCTL, and enroll your own keys. There's literally an option in your UEFI, or UEFI nowadays, to do so. You're arguing with the guy who made the tool you're talking about. Oh,
That realization, like, oh, shit. I fucked up.
That's great. I love that.
It sounded like they made a decent point, though, but I don't know.
Oh, no. Arguing with a doctor.
Couldn't really understand it 100%, so I can only extrapolate. So I'm probably wrong. Maybe they didn't make a decent point.
Arguing with a doctor whether it's ghost or anemia.
Enema.
And I was like, sorry. My brain's all over the place. Ghost or anemia causing bruises. using the Conjuring to back it up being back up it being
Nate,
I
ghost.
really hope that if I
Hey,
ever get an
hey.
enema, it doesn't cause me bruises. That
I
would
was
feel
going to
awful.
say.
Do you know what anemia is?
Yes, I know what
Okay.
anemia is. I'm sorry.
You just had a You just had
Okay.
a fart, brain fart.
Yes, exactly. It happens.
You have
Also
a
using the
dyslexic moment.
Yeah, using the Conjuring to back it up being ghost. That'd be like me using.
Enema Bruises would be a legit song name for a brutal death.
Nah,
metal.
I'd rather be the enema of the state.
That's a good album.
I know, it's a great album. But the whole deal is like, this would be like me using a video game as logic, as be like, yeah, but it happened in this video game, therefore it should be like this. Like, that's like using Microsoft Flight Simulator to like justify, like, oh yeah, I could land a fucking airplane.
It's like me arguing with an actual Spec Ops guy that, well, Solid Snake did it this way.
Exactly.
And he's gonna be like,
It's like Solid Snake also had nanomachines and bullshit technology that doesn't exist. Nanomachines, son.
Whether it's ghosts or anemia causing bruises, using the Conjuring to back up it being ghosts. What? Right. It could have then materialized as a medical issue. I'd say think of the Conjuring when she got the bruises, went to the doctor, and they told her it was an iron deficiency or something like that. But it's very similar as far as topic goes. Please do not take health advice from the Conjuring. And who are you to tell me where I can pull my examples from? You act like I'm diagnosing the person. It's an example. No, you know what you're doing. You don't get to backpedal.
No.
I'm a doctor. There you go. First conversation at conference. Where have you traveled from? Croydon? Which constituency? Croydon Central? Ah, trying to remember who the MP is there. Me? Oh, Elon Musk doesn't know who Gary Kasparov is. Elon Musk doesn't know a lot, like almost anything, as it turns out. All right, let's see. This is moral idiocy, repetition of Kremlin propaganda, a betrayal of Ukrainian courage and sacrifice, and puts a few minutes browsing Crimea or
Crimea.
I don't know, on Wikipedia over the current horrific reality of Putin's bloody war. We gave Starlinks to Ukraine and lost $80 million in doing so. Oh no, $80 million? While putting SpaceX and myself at serious risk of Russian cyber attack. Sure, sweetie. What have you done besides tweet? I think Gary knows a little bit about putting himself at risk.
Yeah.
A little bit. Twitter user corrects famed author William Gibson about books he wrote and suggests he checks his sources. I love people that are this stupid. It's amazing. Like, I'm pretty dumb, and these people make me look like Albert Einstein. It was hot. The night we burned Wintermute. Wintermute hacked for $160 million. What? It was hot. The night we burned Chrome was the opening line to Burning Chrome. Wintermute was a character in another novel by the same author. I suggest you check your sources. You mean my goddamn brain? Sure. I'll get right on checking my brain.
Well, there you go. All right. Don't you know who I am? No. You don't know who I am.
all those were good. It just the snake one irked me a bit.
Yeah, that one.
If you're writing papers
You
on
were angry.
snakes, please stop saying poison. Please say venom.
Yes, you were angry.
Poison is ingested and venom is injected.
Oh,
My
God.
source for this is not that I'm a snake expert. My source for this is from multiple other snake experts that I have heard say this in the past. So you're the first snake expert I've ever seen use the incorrect terms while talking about something you're supposedly an expert on.
I guess. Well, I got nothing else. I'm just going to end it here. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
You should know who I am. Not Nick.
This is BjÄ. And Clappy's right here.
And we'll see you in the next one, everybody. Take care.